Hey everybody, welcome back to Dice Anvil. Today is the 5th and final video of World Building Week. I spent the last couple of videos explaining the world building process and ideas I have right now for the alpha version of the game I'm making right now called Triconomist. If you want to be a part of its development, then go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below your ideas or opinions you have on what I'm presenting to you today. I'll accumulate all that knowledge and use it to make this game better before publishing it. Please comment down below. It matters, and I look forward to reading it. We spent the last couple of videos breaking down the main 3 nations of this continent that Triconomist takes place on. If your character doesn't fall into one of those nations, or maybe you want to be more of an outsider compared to everybody else, that's totally fine. I have a couple other backgrounds that are all very unique, and we're going to go over them today and also kind of break down where they may be from. Let's go ahead and jump right in. The first one we got is Evangelist. The world is vast and full of religions. The Evangelist is determined to spread the word about the deity they serve to the masses. Triconomist is a vast world, and we went over in past videos the gods or the deities or the magic systems that characters can have. But really, the world is more vast than me or the GM could plan for. The player can help elaborate more on maybe the smaller or more niche areas of the Triconomist world. Most other backgrounds come with skills, but Outlanders come with more options of skills because we don't know how your character grew up or what they developed over time. With the Evangelist, you choose 2 extra skills. You choose a warden or create a small foreign religion. And you can start with a rare item. It comes with 2 abilities. One, a passion ability, Zealot, which will be explained in a future video, which talks about magic systems. But basically, you accumulate passion points as you worship this deity, and eventually you can use up those passion points to have that deity perform some miraculous task for you. The second ability you have is Divine Protection, which is a harmony ability, and you add 1d10 defense die for 1 round. Whatever deity you serve, it's got your back. It will protect you throughout combat. The next one is a Blade of Ku. Blades of Ku are legendary judges that serve Velku, the holder of the Shard of Sight. They are sent out to stop tragedies before they happen by killing evildoers. Velku is a shard holder of the Shard of Sight. He can not only see most everything in the world, but can also see visions of the future. Blades of Ku are essentially Batman. If there were tons of Batman and they were assigned by Professor X to stop certain things, and if Professor X can see slight visions of the future, I don't know. It's it's cool. I guess I had characters play as Blades of Ku before. I started off with Velku explaining to the player kind of what their task is. And Velku can also send visions to them, assigning them different roles or different tasks that they have. But they serve Velku, and they will do anything to stop the tragedies of the world from happening. You choose 1 extra skill. You start off with a level 2 armor, and you have 2 abilities. The passion ability is Command Sight. You temporarily blind or enforce a vision on a target that you touch. Very useful, very cool. The second ability is Harmony. It's called Guidance. Can receive a guiding vision or insight from Velku. So Velku can kind of see all things, so this could be very useful if you're trying to find a certain thing or something like that, but it's going to cost a harmony point. Next up, we got Shardborn. Back in the beginning of this week, I talked about kind of the lore of the world of Triconomist. A god was shattered, and its shards can be used by people to have great power, like Velku. If those shard holders have a child, they're called Shardborn. And what do? Let's find out. A shard holder's child has specific qualities that make Shardborn unique. They have white eyes, can mold their body, and are burned by moonlight. Shardborn are taboo and often hide their identities. So, being the grandchild of the god of decay means that you have certain attributes that are unique. An interesting thing too is that you're burned by moonlight. No one really knows why this is, but some people think it's because Takima is oftentimes represented by the moon. So Takima, being the goddess over everything, is disgusted by this abomination that is Shardborn, and if you're in the moonlight, you'll feel burning sensation and receive damage from that. If you're a Shardborn, you choose one extra skill. You have a weakness, which is moonlight. You have a passion ability called flesh bend. You manipulate or shift your body for an hour. This could be an arm. A lot of things I think would be cool if you made the bones in your arm protrude, making it into its own blade. Maybe you sprout out wings for a little bit. Change your face even. There are a lot of different ways you can use this. Being a Shardborn, you basically have your own built-in magic system, which is really cool. The next ability is a harmony ability called regenerate. You roll harmony and heal 1 per every 5 rolled and 2 for every 6 rolled. If I roll a 5 and a 6, I heal 3 damage points. Next up, we got judge, which a judge is basically a person that gets picked by a certain deity and given power through that deity. It's relationally based, so you might have to go to your deity that's given you power often. Maybe request more power, maybe ask for guidance, or maybe that deity's not happy about what you're doing. There's a lot of different ideas for how the GM can go about that relationship, but let's go into what the judge can do. You choose 2 skills and you pick a being to serve. I have 3 beings that are built into the judge background right now. You got Zepra, holder of the Shard of Shadow. With her, you can have night vision and you can create a shadow portal by using a harmony point, and you travel through shadows within 50 feet of range. Another deity you can pick is Huitzil, which is the Warden of Light. With this, you are heat resistant and you can use a passion point to ignite or roll to control fire. This is a very loose ability. Basically, you can just start fire or control fire by utilizing passion or rolling for passion. The last one is Apuk, which is the Warden of Storms. You got a passion ability using lightning. You can charge a blast that deals 1d12 per passion. So if you want to deal some seriously heavy damage, go ahead and charge that up. Maybe you use 3 passion points. You're packing 3d12 of damage. And you got Storm Breathing, which also is passion. You blast or suck massive gusts of wind through your own lungs. I think it's pretty cool that you can be versatile with how you want to be a judge or what you want to serve as a judge. Next up, we got an Onarian. Onari is a continent that's right above Archaeum. It is a huge trading continent. Onari has 3 major places. It's got Ilan Alora, which is this big city. There's a lot of riches, money moving through this entire area. So with it come a bunch of wealthy people. You got Seaway, which is where people load up the ships, where sailors meet and they go and travel. And you got the Trokar Trading Point, which is a fortress owned by the Trokar. Trokar are actually also a name for a form of currency that you can use, which I'll probably talk about in another video, but we can just know that Trokar is an important family across the entire world that travels here and trades with the people. You can pick 2 skills, and you pick 2 abilities or attributes that come with it. So we got Ilan Alora Wealth, start wealthy with Trokar currency, but also in debt to a major group of NPCs. So there's a little bit of a twist there. You start off with a lot of money, but you've already made an enemy in some form, in some way. So that might come up later in the campaign. You got Seaway Business. Start with a medium boat and crew that transport goods. So in this case, you would be from the city of Seaway and be a person that basically travels around and transports goods, or at least oversees them. Small World, which is a harmony ability. You might recognize this from the second video of this week, talking about the Diplomat. He has the same ability. You have a past relationship with an NPC, and you roll to determine that relationship. This is awesome for roleplay. You can meet a random NPC at some point, and you can use a harmony point to roll to see maybe where you know them from. It could be good, could be bad, but it's always going to enhance the story in some way. Last one you got is the Gambler. This is a passion ability. You use a passion and you flip a coin for a 50-50 chance of a fail or a perfect success. So if you're feeling lucky at some point, or maybe you need a perfect success in order to do something, sometimes your chances are better if you use up a passion point and flip a coin for a 50-50 shot and see if you're able to completely succeed this or completely fail it. I don't know how I feel about that ability yet, so leave your comments down below if you think I should change it in some way. I like the idea of leaning into the cultural aspects of this continent. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. The next one we got is Forgoten. Forgotten are humanoid creatures made of stone and metal that communicate either by telepathy or vocally. They have wandered for thousands of years with no recollection to where they came from or why they're here. Most are outcasts from society. I mentioned Forgotten in the first video of this week, and I am glad that I can announce that you can play as one of them if you'd like. Forgotten, you choose 2 skills to come with them, and you have 3 racial qualities. No abilities, just racial qualities. The first one is you're resistant to slashing damage. You can't get cut up or sliced up if you're a Forgotten because you're made of stone and metal. You have no flesh for them to cut. So even though someone hits you with a sword, that damage does not affect you, which is good because number 2 is you cannot naturally heal. So unlike other people that can just heal up eventually by, eating food or sleeping or bandaging up, you can't do that because when a piece of you breaks off, it's off forever. Unless you find a mechanic or a blacksmith that can put you back together, you're gonna be stuck like that. Number 3 is you do not eat, breathe, or sleep. Just a fun little bit of lore there because you have no need. There are a lot of mysteries that can be uncovered about the Forgotten, where they're from, what their purpose was, and I'll be talking about those in future videos for GMs to utilize in the game. The last background we have for this entire week is a natural Janak. Janak users can be trained from any place because the flow is a layer woven throughout the world. Some parts of the world have a stronger density of flow and are likely where the art is taught and thriving. Not all places. As we learned in the last video, the Kingdom of Amalon has a massive, dense amount of flow, which means people are able to be more sensitive to the flow, thus unlocking their Janak abilities. However, not all Janak people need to be from the Kingdom of Amalon. Maybe they come from their own little society that the player can elaborate on and explain where they're from and how their culture is. The Janak user chooses 1 skill to utilize and they start off with a level 2 Janak attribute. Those are all the backgrounds and all the major nations that take place in the game that I'm working on right now, Triconomist. Please let me know if there are any ideas you have down below in the comments. I do read them and I do apply them to the overall vision I have for this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see y'all next time when we talk about magic systems, how they work, and how they're so important to this game. Y'all have a good day.